Welcome to the Capital Gains channel, where all we talk about is how to increase one's wealth. Let's get started.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today we're just going to touch up on how to overcome the trucking crisis. I actually had the opportunity to sit with 4 big CEO and managers of big trucking companies here in Atlanta, and I was just talking about what's going on with Yellow and the trucking industry and seeing the record numbers of businesses falling. And I said, man, what can we do? How can businesses adapt? How can they profit? How can they get through this? How can they become a stable and well-established trucking company? Well, I got some news for you, and I got some tips for you guys. Whether you're a small company that got 5-10 trucks, medium size 50 to 100, or even a large trucking company that got about 1,000 trucks, there's ways to adapt, especially in a time like this. The trucking industry really is suffering. The trucking demand is going down, and there's a lot of things happening, especially with the embargo, with the fuel that's going on with Venezuela and Russia and Saudi Arabia. And we just have technology coming in at a great. I mean, listen, before you even know it, I mean, it's already out there, but I'm talking about it's going to be in front of your home. Domino's is no longer going to have a driver that's going to jump in a car speeding through the roads with the little Domino's sign, pulling up, ding ding, delivering your pizza. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is going to be an electrical car that's already going to have your pizza in there. It's going to pull up right into your home. It's going to open up a door, and your pizza's going to be ready, and you're going to be able to grab the pizza and get it out. We already see Uber Eats coming in and literally being able to deliver 10 different restaurants in one driver, as opposed to having one Domino's driver. Jobs are being lost greatly. We're seeing self-automated trucks. We see them right now. They're already driving. They're testing them. Obviously, it's not out there, but they are being put to use. And sooner or later, local trucks, over-the-road trucks, long-distance trucks, there's not going to be a driver in them. They're going to load up the truck, and the truck's going to shoot to another terminal by itself. It's not going to have to stop to eat. It's not going to have to stop to go to the bathroom. It's not going to stop to sleep. It's literally going to start from Buffalo, New York, and shoot down to Miami, park at a hub, and then from there on they will then disperse that cargo accordingly to where it needs to go. So it's going to be Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Cali, Miami, Atlanta, Detroit, Newark, New Jersey. They're going to be hubs, and there's going to be trucks running non-stop without stopping for using the facilities, stopping to eat, or none of that. And that's really the change that's going to come. So there is a lot of changes in technology that is coming, and that's going to be taking effect. And it's going to affect the trucking companies greatly. So things to look for to overcome this, right? To build long-term success and stability. One thing companies want to do as when you're doing is to start identifying your weaknesses. A lot of the times we've been running, we implemented a system that may have worked before COVID. You've been running with it, and now is a time to kind of take a step back and see what weaknesses are. Whether they are they drivers? Are they your safety? Are they your equipment? Is it your loads? Is it your dispatchers? Is it your contracts? This is what you have to look for about what's affecting your income, what areas, and start to implement ways to fix that. Now is a time in the industry where you're not extremely busy. There's not money everywhere, so you're not out there grabbing money and moving forward. Now is a time to pivot. Now is a time to take a step back and actually find out what's going on. So take a step back, find your weaknesses. Where are they? Where are your weaknesses, and how we're going to fix and address them? Is it my dispatcher? Is he just getting me at regular loads? Is he even diversified? Should I get a new dispatcher? Should I get somebody that's well known? A lot of these dispatchers came into the game when this was a cash grab situation, when COVID came, a lot of brokers and guys got on there just to get money, and now they're taking a big percentage of it and they're not doing the right thing. So maybe it's your broker, maybe it's your load board, maybe you're not diversified enough. Maybe it's your safety. Maybe you're getting, you don't have a safety protocol system in place for your maintenance of your trucks and safety for your drivers, and that's where you're losing. That's where you're losing downtime. That's where you're losing fines and getting pulled over and having to go and fix your truck at shops that are a couple days behind, and you're sitting there trying to fix something small for days. Meanwhile, you could implement another system for yourself, right? So that's number one. Now, number two is to improve your efficiency. Meaning, right? Meaning, you need to be more cost efficient. So, what is most cost efficient? Find out where you're fueling at. Implement fuel cards. Those fuel cards are going to be able to save you money at certain fuel stations and at certain areas. Where are you fueling? Are you fueling wherever the driver is empty and then now you're paying a premium for gas? Or are you implementing systems on where to fuel along the way to make sure you are getting the best value for your fuel? Implementing that, putting in special fuel additives. How much are you idling? What are you doing to cut that cost down? Fuel cards is a big one, rewards programs, and places you're fueling. Now, where are you buying your fuel additives, filters? Where are you buying your oil? Okay, you could say, hey, I'm going to this store right here and pay $35 a gallon or pay 105. Guys, if you go to Fleet Pride, somewhere that a bucket of Delvac oil is $105. I go to Walmart and pick up the same bucket for 65, and we're talking almost 100% difference in price. So where are you buying your supplies? Maybe buying them at this store is not so much as buying them in bulk here. Shop around, get your improve your efficiency. Fuel, supplies, filters. Right. Another one. Improving fleet management, making sure you have a great fleet management system in place. Know what your cost per mile is. Find that out. Those are programs, technologies. There's so much technology now out that you should be able to input exactly where your driver is, where is he going, how much you spend on fuel, and you're able to get your cost per mile. Know that number. You should be able to know that number for every route that you take. Another thing is your break-even cost. Find out how much your break-even cost. Everybody should know that. Everybody's like, it cost me $1, but they forget to implement their parking space. They forget to implement IFTA, taxes, registration, service calls. They forget to implement normal wear and tear, oil changes, tires, their CRM reports, dispatchers. So they say, well, I spend this much in fuel, my driver, my insurance, and all that cost me $1.25. So if I get $1.75 a mile, I'm making 50 cents. Well, really, how much do you pay for parking? Oh, well, I paid $500 a truck. What about your dispatcher? What about your normal wear and tear? What about IFTA? What about your ELOG? Doesn't that cost every month? And all of a sudden, that $1.25 break even just turned into almost $2. And they find out they're losing money because they never implemented a break even cost. Very important to put that in there. Another thing I spoke to the guys about is specialized freight. Sometimes you may have to pivot. Guys that have been running, I see a lot of big companies actually do that. One of the companies that we've seen do that was JB Hunt. JB Hunt started with a regular drive-in. They went into intermodal, and now they're doing dedicated, flatbed, and all types of stuff. I've seen a lot of guys, big companies also pivot from from lowboy to step deck to flatbed. So also, if you're at an industry where dry van worked for you, and now you're not really making money, maybe you're in an area or you're running a route where flatbed, step deck, or refrigerator works. What about hazardous? You can still use your van trailer and run hazardous material just by insulating your trailer, getting the proper signage, and getting the proper licenses and documents for that. That right there can boost your income up just by going into hazardous. So diversify, very important, very important. Implement technology in there. GPS, real data taming. Find out how much your trucks are idling. Where are they going? How far are they going out of their way to pick up drivers for home time? Are they idling? Can they not idle? Can you install a APU unit so a driver doesn't have to idle, since fuel is at almost $4 a gallon, but he can run an APU unit? Yes, an APU unit, maybe you could buy a used one from LKQ for about $2,500 a piece. You have 10 trucks. Yes, 25,000, but you spend 50,000, you save $50,000, or you save $25,000 in fuel in 1 year, and the next 5 years you're able to add that to your revenue. Again, use technology, use real data time, find out what's going on with your trucks to the T, what ways you could improve, right? Focus on safety and put in a maintenance fleet program. This is what I was talking about also, by making sure that you guys do routine checks on your trucks. Maybe just, hey, we're running, we'll do oil change once a month, and when something breaks, I pull into a shop. Those things can have a lot of downtime, high costs, and they can also affect your driver as well. Well, maybe getting a mechanic on site and having him rotating trucks and implementing safety, putting pre-trip sheets in there that each driver has to sign off to make sure that they're completing them. Making sure that they check for certain things, making sure trucks get greased on the regular, have brake adjustments, have inspections done every month, so that way you're not waiting for something to break before it gets fixed. Building customer relationships, that is a very also great thing these guys told me about. A lot of times we're using brokers or these load boards, but finding out, especially if you're in a niche program, if you're doing refrigerator, hazardous, specialty, lowboy, flatbed, building relationships with certain brokers, with certain companies, management, warehousing, and intermodal places, you can get contracted work. And then when you build those relationships and you're able to satisfy these loads for these customers, then you guys have steady work and you're no longer struggling. Now you know exactly the work you have the work ahead of time, you know what you're expected, what you're supposed to do, and then you just fill in the blanks and earn extra income that way. Building relationships is important. When I was running my trucking company, using a low board was decent, but when I was actually able to get contracted work and work, I had steady jobs, and it just literally shot me to the next level. So building relationships is important. Every time you work with a company, ask how you doing, how can I help you, can you use my services, what can I do to make your company better, and that way I can use my company better as well. So that's very important. Financial planning, making sure that you do have some money put to the side, so when things do get rough, that you don't put yourself in a hole, that you don't start ringing up credit cards, paying high interest, that a truck breaks down and all of a sudden you're scrambling to repair or to build or to grow. Or if you have caught a contract and now it's your turn to buy 5 more trucks to fulfill that contract, that you have the means to do that. That doesn't mean on a rainy day, but also means to grow, to scale, to build. Make sure that you have the financial backing. Make sure you're with banks. Make sure you're with anybody that could help you as far as factoring. If factoring helps, fine. If factoring is no longer a good option for you, take factoring off. It all depends on your size and what you're doing. And also adapt to market change. E-commerce, that's a very big industry, especially after COVID. Everyone's buying everything online. Maybe you're in a drive-in business, but local box truck work in the region will make you more money. Pivot to that. Find out what's going on. E-commerce is big. Um, Technology is going bigger with trucks. Adapt to what's going on. Now is a perfect time to take a step back, maybe upgrading your equipment, changing your equipment, selling your equipment, finding out your flaws. Those are ideas that these guys sat down and we all talked about and kicked them around. And I think those are great ideas if you really want to sustain yourself in this industry. I hope everybody the best. I wish everybody well. I know that trucking is important and it's here. And those who listen, sometimes it might be time to get out. I mean, trucking may have suited you well and been a great industry, and now you may be focusing on something else, and that's okay. It's okay to move and adapt. It's okay. Hey, I've been running 18 wheelers, and now I want to run vans, and now I want to build and grow this. So just know what you're doing, adapt, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know if these ideas are good, if they work for anybody, if they're working for anybody. Appreciate all you on here. Throw a like, subscribe. If this helped you in any way, I'm gonna be putting more videos out. Ways to make money, how to side hustle, all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys soon, and I appreciate it again. Love, love.